close up here. All right, this is the hand pump.
The movies, you're not, that'll work.
Okay, now this is a 12-volt battery that is running a submersible pump, which is filling up this tank. Correct, Bill?
That is correct.
Okay.
We could add a filter in here. In fact, we probably should. But
water looks pretty clean.
Yeah,
without any kind of organic
Although
material.
I see stuff going in, as it's kind of getting sucked into the pump itself.
Okay.
There's always microbes and bacteria and so forth in lakes like this, you know. And this is very typical of like being overseas, where people might be drawing water right directly out of the river, or out of a lake, or wherever the source of their water is. So we're doing the same thing. We're filling up our water tank, probably about halfway, and then we're going to go ahead and purify this water.
Okay, and how many gallons per minute will that little pump do?
Well, in less than a minute, we've probably put in 15 gallons of water. So it's cranking through the water pretty quickly.
Yeah, you can
normally
see.
we would not fill up this tank with this little pump, in fact.
Okay.
We would just pull it in directly from a bucket or something along that line. But we're doing this just to speed up the process.
But for the purpose of chlorinating the water, that pump would work just fine.
It does. It does a wonderful
Circulating
job.
the water.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay. Should have a hose. Here we go.
Okay, here's Bill's system set up. Bill, you want to explain this a little bit as you're hooking up those hoses?
Sure.
And go ahead and speak nice and loud because we got an external mic going on here.
We are in the process of setting up a submersible pump, which is a 12-volt DC battery powered pump that actually goes down inside of the tank like so. And then Pam, if you would hook this hose up right into this position here, there we go. We can go ahead and push that in and then just tighten that right down. We have what are called quick disconnects, so that all of our hoses will actually assemble very quickly, and we can assemble this entire system.
Kind of a banjo quick disconnect, right?
Correct.
All right.
Correct. We have one more hose here. Let me get it, and we'll install that as well. Okay, sorry. There we go. Okay, this hose goes right down here. Go ahead and work on that, put that together. Good. And this one goes right here.
Okay, now that's the water that represents going back into the tank that's been chlorinated, correct?
This is the return line. So
return line, okay.
We've got the water being pulled out through the pump, and it's pushed through a heat sink as well as a venturi, and then it goes back into the tank and then it circulates. So that is our circulation system.
Bill, go ahead and point the heat sink side that's going to produce the sodium hydroxide.
Okay, we've got two different components of this here. One is the circulation system. The second part of the system is actually the chlorine generator.
Okay.
The chlorine generator, what we will use is 1 cup of salt in water. We will actually put this salt in the water here. So Pam, if you'd help me out here, we'll just dump that in there. Good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to shake this water up and make it a saline solution. And this salt water then, combined with a 12-volt battery, and through electrolysis, will actually make our chlorine that we need to clean the water. It will kill all the bacteria in the water.
Excellent.
Okay. Excellent. So at this point, we need to put on our hoses here. So if you want to turn it off for a second, we'll hook those up.
All right, we're back on again. Okay, what is it you're doing there now, Bill?
Okay, we're pouring the saline solution that we have right into our this one canister, And this is where the chlorine is actually generated. We'll go up to here. Whoops, stop. There we go. Good.
Okay, remind me again, how much salt did you have in that one container?
We had 1 cup of salt, which is this amount right here.
Okay.
This 1 cup of salt will actually purify over 5,000 gallons of water.
Excellent.
So it's an amazing little feat here that we're going to do.
And we're talking just regular table salt, correct?
That's just ordinary table salt. The amazing thing is this is only a 35-gallon tank here. We could purify a 55-gallon tank typically in about a minute, or a 5,000-gallon tank in about an hour.
Excellent.
So it really is a tremendous as to what this could do. The remaining portion of this we'll go ahead and pour into this side right there. Good. And then we're going to need a little bit more water to get that one side filled up here.
Did you not want to go beyond that max line?
Typically. Okay, good. And once we've got that, we are all set for actually turning the purifier on. So,
Okay, and so how do you actually turn the purifier on in this particular situation?
in this situation, we initially start out by processing the pump, and we will we'll make sure that the pump is working properly and that we are getting good circulation
Okay,
here.
so that's just a simple 12-volt battery.
12-volt car battery. Black goes to negative, red goes to positive. And so I'm hooking it up right now. There we hear our pump working, which is a good sound. And let me open up this valve right there. There we go.
That allows the water to come back into the tank,
Right.
okay, the return line.
So the water is actually coming through here. Let's see. We need to turn this down. And this will create our suction that we have. There we go.
Yeah, right.
And once it starts working properly,
And
we're
the
going to see
We
lot of
should
air
have
bubbles,
bubbles
right?
in there, right?
coming right across here. Yes, just like what it's doing now. So I know it's working properly. This side is solid water, and Pam, if you look on this side, you'll see that there are a lot of air bubbles in this hose as it returns back. The reason for that is that the chlorine is actually going into this venturi, and we're actually combining the chlorine with the water as it circulates by. So it's really easy. It's really neat.
So the process is actually working right now because we're going
to make the chlorine here starting right now. Okay, and that's when we hook up this electrolysis portion.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Excellent.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
That's
correct you
good.
there, but yeah.
No, that's what I.
Yep. Okay, we're going to start that right now here. We can do that. Okay. And Tom, you might want to come over here and you can actually see the air bubbles here that we've got. We're actually making chlorine now at this point. And so, Pam, if you look right here, you can see that we've got air bubbles coming across. Well, in this container, we're making chlorine. On this side, this is separating the sodium from that salt. So we're breaking that salt molecule apart and making the chlorine that way.
Very visible, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. You can see it very well there. So, and this process is working very quickly, in fact. So much so that I'm going to test to see if we're making chlorine yet. This is kind of a fun part of the process. We want to be careful here that we don't get any chlorine on us because this could bleach our clothes.
So you're getting a sample right now.
Getting a sample, yes. Okay, if you'll hold that. When this water turns yellow, we know that we're making chlorine. So hopefully we're going to get a real bright yellow. There we go. We're starting to do that. Okay, we are making chlorine here. You can see the yellow.
Let me put it down a little bit.
Okay.
Just like you do the pools, isn't it?
Just like a swimming pool, yes. It's a swimming pool tester,
Yes.
in fact.